the disgusting rise of trash media.
Oh man, looks like DJ Akademiks is now finally getting some help. And no, it's not Whack 100, you guys. It's actually Charleston White. That's right, you guys. Charleston White, aka Uncle Ruckus, is now coming to the defense of DJ Akademiks. Now, as things begin to intensify between DJ Akademiks and Maino, if you guys missed it last night, DJ Akademiks called Maino a bum-ass Negro. Then he went on to say that he's not scared of Maino. And in retaliation, Maino posted the clip where Akademiks was talking to the 15-year-old kid today. Maino said, "Let's talk about this freaky jar of relish. Sexual predator. This guy is asking a 15-year-old boy if he would let a man smash him. What grown man plays like this? How is this acceptable? Hey, Akademiks, is this not you? This is sneaky freaky PDF behavior, my boy. No explanation needed. Sexual deviant elf." Well, last night, Charleston White tagged himself in. He released a phone call that he had with DJ Akademiks, where Charleston White is telling Akademiks, "Bro, sit back. I got your back. Let me get Maino for you." Charleston White has been disrespecting Maino and a lot of New York rappers for years now. The man has been dying to beef with him. So once he heard DJ Akademiks and Maino were into it, you guys already know Charleston White was on it like white on rice. Here's what he said.
Maino talking about cases and assault. Some random just sued me. Yeah, that's the one bitch who sued me. I never got arrested. The cops looked at everything. Everything's on surveillance tape. They cleared me. Never got arrested. Nothing. Maino got arrested for sexual assault back in the day.
I was just finna go to that.
Now, he should be somebody who know when somebody falsely accused you of some shit, you don't want to bring it up because they gonna hit that research button to realize the chick ain't get no money. I never got arrested. And all it was is she ran to the same lawyers that was trying to shake down celebrities, and they filed a lawsuit. That's it. Maino has a whole history of all of these things that I know if I bring it up, you know people gonna say, "Yo, y'all were just joking."
Tell me, let me do it. I've been waiting to get into it with a New York.
What's up, world? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashapp to CLBMG. Join that membership. And all you buying that merch down below. Gang, listen. So if you've watched this channel for any period of time, you may have noticed that I will see a topic of discussion, a current event, and sometimes I'll ponder a little deeper about the bigger ramifications of that particular issue in regards to the culture or society itself. And one of the things that I've just noticed right now that we've been dealing with for a while, it finally dawned on me that we have an epidemic of what we want to call hip-hop media. At this point has become trash media. I am going to coin a new phrase for what Akademiks, Charleston White, and others are doing. It is not hip-hop media. We need to stop calling it hip-hop media. It is literally trash media. And I've kind of linked it all the way back to where it started. I want to have a conversation about why we need to understand when we get entertained, we get giddy gumdrops about something Charleston White has said or DJ Akademiks has said, but we can't put our finger on why they are linking it to hip-hop, because we are not used to hip-hop being associated with trash, but we've become desensitized to that becoming the very thing. And I want to speak on where trash media started and where it is to this day and why it's disgusting. It always will be disgusting, but you get what you deserve. We are a trash society, and we like to be entertained by trash. We always have, and we always will. So I want to speak to a degree of what started this connection with hip-hop and trash media. And I really have to say, if I'm going to be honest, I'm going to blame the start of hip-hop and trash media on Lady Whistledown, aka Wendy Williams. I'm going to have to, for those who don't know who Lady Whistledown is, Lady Whistledown is a fictional character, right? in a show called Bridgerton. And she secretly spies and conspires and gathers all the gossip in the community, and then she puts it in her little column, and it goes haywire, and the people clamor for it, and they eat it up, and they want more. They love to hear it, right? So Lady Whistledown, that is actually what Wendy Williams was in the culture. She was she was just extremely nasty. She everything salacious behind the scenes. Who's gay and this, that, and the third. And she outed Method Man's girlfriend at the time, who was he was very upset. He never really forgave Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams pissed a lot of people off. She accused Diddy. Hey, listen, she had the ups on Diddy way back then, and everybody knew she was on to some, but she came at Diddy, and Diddy, I believe, got her fired, and this, that, and the third. So Lady Whistledown, she begat and gave birth to others, such as Charlemagne the God. Charlemagne the God has he holds no punches or secrets about being linked and working under Wendy Williams and using her technique to get to where he was. He did what she does on 10 and became the male Wendy Williams, right? And for a time, it was good. And Charlemagne, when success breeds envy, and it also breeds, I want to say, not competitors, but copycats and people that try to emulate what you do, right? So they say success is the when they imitate you, that's the sincerest form of flattery. So Charlemagne started to get emulated and imitated by other disc jocks and magazines and this, that, and the third, started to realize that salaciousness sells. You got the National Enquirer and things of that nature. So we became a society that lived off gossip and people's dirty laundry and trying to page 6 and this, that, and the third. So where we are now, we got guys now that can make a living off being the most disgusting, gross people that say the most heinous things, but they get linked into hip-hop. How Charleston White is hip-hop, I have no idea. How Akademiks is hip-hop, I have no idea. Akademiks was, he came to light. We all know the story of the war in Chirac, right? And a lot of us ate that up. We watched it with our mouth open, trying to figure out who was killing who was shooting who in Chicago. Don't lie, you watched it too. But that is not hip-hop. That is actual street politics, but Akademiks somehow spun that into hip-hop. He became hip-hop media because he made a couple videos about Drake and Meek Mill and this, that, and the third. Just a guy sitting in his basement talking about celebrities that he envied, end up becoming a millionaire, right? And for a time, that was good. So we saw Akademiks turn trash media coverage. It wasn't good media coverage. It was trash. It was snarky. He was always really putting people down. Let's just be honest. And when people came for him, he became very belligerent and indignant and ignorant. So it became worse and worse. And so what happened was people saw that this worked. So then you got these other people coming out of nowhere. Let's just be honest. A lot of these streamers picked it up where Akademiks, these guys weren't acting like this before this. So a lot of these streamers and people like that became just as obnoxious and things of that nature. And they realized you could become rich by being an asshole. So Akademiks spawned a lot more of these people. And here we are. Now we got this situation where, let's keep it a buck, the Joe Budden podcast deals in a lot of trash media. Yeah, they have some conversations that aren't trash media, but if you search your feelings and you go back to where Joe Budden, when he first started being a podcaster, most of his viral moments were when he was trashing somebody. Let's just be honest. He was trashing somebody, say something slick, and that shit would go viral. So now we got Joe Budden, the literal definition of a trash podcast, becoming popping, right? And I know a lot of you are fans of the show. There's nothing wrong with that. Do your thing. But we all got our what they call it, not trash TV, or your guilty pleasures, right? So all of us, we delve in the other side where people are just being awful to each other, and we like it as a society. So that's what we get. So here we are. We're at a point where now Maino has dove headfirst into trash media, and now he's at odds with DJ Akademiks, and somehow Mona, don't call me white girl Mona, from the Joe Budden podcast, which I told you, that spawned from trash media and trash behavior. So now she's involved as well. She's inserted herself, and now this thing is a whole mess because the king of trash, like if this shit was Sesame Street and they had a fucking a mascot and he had to come out the trash can like Oscar the Grouch, it would 100% be Charleston White. He would be popping right out the goddamn trash can with the lid on his fucking head, because Charleston White is the epitome of trash media. If they ever make a dictionary post in a dictionary, or they put it in a dictionary, Charleston White, picture a man that makes hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, at this point, being the most trashiest, disgusting human being on planet Earth, it would have to be 100% unequivocally, it would have to be Charleston White as the face of trash media. Now, a good trash media face would be Akademiks, because it would make more sense, because he actually has more. He's more articulate than Charleston White. So we got to put Akademiks as the face of trash media. But when you get to the deep underbelly, when the places that people really don't want to go, then you got to say it's Charleston White. But they both trash, right? And I'm just going to be honest. All of these people that are in this conversation got trash backgrounds. Let's just be honest. Listen, I know I'm going to offend some of my political connects, but I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to be honest, right? End of the day, when I look at this, I peel back the layers, and I like Maino. Maino's a stand-up individual. I tell you, when I used to do promotions for shows, Maino came. Maino was one of the solidest niggas, like one of the most solid rappers. Maino and Raekwon, two of the most solid human beings that I ever had the pleasure of doing business with. Maino came, he was smiling, very cordial. Listen, my wife liked Maino. Like all the girls in there, they really liked Maino. He had a look. This was years ago, gang, a long time ago. But he looked good. He smelled good. He was charming. Like I was like, bro, I like this guy. This guy didn't seem like this prison-ridden guy that barely made it out alive. Like he came off as like, listen, don't start nothing, don't be nothing. If you just be cordial, be cool. You pay me my money, everything's good. So I liked Maino when I met him. So I really don't have nothing bad about him when I met him, right? As opposed to Joe Budden when I met his ass. Oh my God. End of the day, they two different individuals, right? So I say that to say, I don't really want to besmirch Maino's name. I feel like he's a good individual, but at the same time, he got dirt on his name that people could bring up. Mona got dirt. They accused her of scamming her own fans. This, that, and the third. Akademiks is not accused. He did some real foul shit with he's on that Zoom call, which he don't get enough flack for, with that little boy, right? Let's just be honest. Him and his mans and them, they was on a Zoom call with a little boy talking extremely sexual. It's so cringe. You can't even finish as a grown person. You can't even finish the call because it's so disgusting. They sat there and made this call, and it's not Zoom call. We always talk about a Zoom call. They was on a live stream. All right, it wasn't no Zoom call. They was on a live stream, and they were talking really reckless to this kid, saying some sex. And I get it. These things are no holds barred when they're in these streams, right? So the whole purpose of the stream is to be provocative and this, that, and the third. So when you get a bunch of dumbass niggas in a stream, anything can happen. So Akademiks has a bunch of dumbass niggas in the stream, anything can happen. And they I'm not gonna say assaulted, but they kind of like they went really low and said some really unethical things to this underage boy who really was really uneasy when he was talking to them. He was like, guys, please, I'm not gay, I'm not this, that, and the third. Just let's move on from the subject. But they thought it was funny, they thought it was content, and it was a room that they really didn't think people would ever see the footage of. Somebody recorded it and it got out. But he didn't expect it to go national. Now the simple fact of the matter is that's Akademiks right there. Then you bring a Charleston White, just disgusting and just a bad individual, cheating on his wife, does all kind of shit, in jail every other month, right? This motherfucker is probably the lowest of low of all four of these motherfuckers. Charleston White is the worst, but he's clamoring to get involved, and that's the thing with this trash media. They need content so bad, they will start beefs, right? Akademiks and Charleston White. Charleston White said, I've been looking to get at one of these New York niggas for a while. I've been trying to start something. He openly said he's been trying to start something with New York guys for no reason. He openly says that. But here we are. We are entertained. It's funny. We're laughing. But at the end of the day, you got to understand, everybody involved with this, including Maino, who stepped into trash media. He wasn't doing trash media before, right? He was sitting up there with Angela Yee, minding his business, right? Just doing his interviews, 1, 2, 1, 2. But when you lay down with Akademiks, as soon as them back and forth start to go, you just became, my friend, trash media. So I got to lock you in there too, right? Salute to Maino, no disrespect. But at this point, with this right here, Maino understood the game. He didn't come talking to a whole lot of, I'm going to beat you in your face shit, da-da-da. He came back with, trying to get back at Akademiks, like Akademiks said in the beginning of the conversation. He said, listen, Maino, this potting, this ain't street stuff. So when you come back with your response, don't come back with, you're going to beat me up, this, that, and the third. Come back as a podcaster. Come back as a streamer. Don't come back that way. So Maino, in kind, he did that. He came back with his retort and salute. He kept it respectful, and he didn't try to, they were both slandering each other. So it was not, of course you're going to slander, say some real shit, weird shit. I got the transcript right here. We're going to talk about it. But end of the day, Maino kept it on jokes, this, that, and the third, right? Charleston White comes in, whatever can happen, whatever, da-da-da. His ignorant ass gonna take it wherever you want to go. Then he gonna try to get you locked up for it. So it's a whole different thing. But at the end of the day, we're seeing a rise of trash media, and they get rewarded for it. At the end of the year, what's it, Complex or Billboard? One of these two, I think it's Complex. One of these motherfuckers, they do the top hip hop media of the year, right? Put Akademiks there, 1, 2, or 3. Charlemagne right there, 1, 2, or 3. All this goofy shit, the shit that ain't got nothing to do with really hip hop. Let's just be honest. Half the people on the list has nothing to do with hip hop. Kai Sanat, what the fuck he on there for? But at the end of the day, they put these people up there. It ain't about the list of hip hop media personalities. It's the people who get the most traction. Who gets the most traction in talking about niggas that actually rap? Akademiks don't rap. Most of these motherfuckers in this conversation don't rap, but they spend all day talking about rappers. Joe Budden, let's be honest, he don't rap no more, but he spent all day talking about rappers. This, that, and the third. So what we're seeing is the disgusting side of this media, right? Even the magazines we used to love, The Source and Double XL, this, that, and the third, and the websites we used to revere, all hip hop, this, that, and the third. They all delve into rumors. They all delve into scandalous situations. But at the end of the day, you wanted more information about your favorite artist. That don't sell no more. Trash media has made it where I can't just look for a real good Nas article. I got to find an article about somebody shitting on Nas or Nas shitting on somebody. Oh, Nas responded to Nas is this shitting on Jay-Z when he lost the casino. Nas secretly, like all this, it got to be some nonsense. And we going to click that. It's called clickbait. So whoever can get the fastest clickbait at the worst time, then here we go, right? I feel like what I'm seeing is we're devolving as a society in every single way, politically, religiously, every single way. Nothing matters. You can say the most righteous thing and somebody will come along and say, nah, I don't like that. I don't agree with that shit. It's bullshit. So right now we got a thing where we're not seeing eye to eye, but the one thing we can see eye to eye on is watching this trash and consuming it. Everybody's consuming these trash situations and we have no discourse to try to put it into it because we secretly want this shit. Let's just be honest. Charleston White, why is Charleston White still around? He's talking about people's kids, people's moms, everything. This guy will say the most heinous shit, and then a week later, what happened to what happened to all the Charlie Kirk people that wanted to cancel Charleston White? He still got a phone. This motherfucker's still doing his thing. He's still making money, still getting booked. Nothing happened. So at the end of the day, we want this shit. Charleston White can do nothing wrong. He's the epitome of trash content. He's allowed to flourish because we are a trash society. We want to hear this shit. And people defend him. I've made about 4 or 5 videos just saying enough for Charleston White. At least 4 or 5. And guess what? Who comes in my comments? Nah, buddy, you just don't get Charles. He be telling the truth. He be keeping it a buck. He telling facts. Oh, yeah? We told that guy he was going to do something to his kids sexually. That was, okay. Whatever you say, gang. But at the end of the day, I feel like all of it's trash, and we need to get rid of all of it. But at the end of the day, we won't because we still laugh. I chuckled at some of this shit throughout the whole Maino, Akademiks, Mona, Charleston White. Some of this shit did make me chuckle. I'm just gonna be honest. So let me read this and have a conversation because even though we can't stop it, we can talk about it. We can start figuring out. Okay, we know what this is. We're not gonna be able to stop it, but we can start to slowly understand what we're doing. And we got to separate this shit. This is not hip-hop media. This is trash media. Let me read this article. I normally say the article writer's name, but I don't actually have it. But I do know or believe that this was on hotnewhiphop.com. DJ Akademiks and Maino trade shots as beef escalates over comments about Fabulous. A joke about Fabulous style spirals into a heated personal back and forth between Akademiks and Maino. Akademiks and Maino are locked in a heated back and forth after the Brooklyn rapper unloaded a barrage of insults on the Let's Rap About It podcast, all sparked by Akademiks joking about Fabulous' recent fashion choices. So now, let's be clear. Akademiks low-key started it, but it was a harmless joke about the headband. I'm sure half the people that watch the podcast like Fab with the headband. I'm sure it was funny. Now, Maino's not mad. I need you to understand what's going on. He's like, oh, shit. We can get some pub off this. Going back and forth with Akademiks. This ain't about him being mad. This is about him understanding the game. If I can go back and forth with Akademiks, guess who's going to benefit the most? We are. The Let's Rap About It podcast. The people that don't know what's out, they're going to know when I start beefing with Akademiks. All of this is calculated, gang. You got to understand what you're dealing with. Trash media is very calculated. They meet every morning, every night, figuring out what to say and do that's going to keep the trash trashing. All right, let me continue. The tension began when Akademiks during the live stream teased Fabulous for wearing a headband in 2025, a look he said felt dated. Maino, who has a long-standing friendship with Fab, quickly fired back on his podcast alongside Jim Jones, Dave East, and Fabulous himself. Quote, Akademiks, I know you not talking. You got the audacity to be speaking on what a nigga's wearing. You built like a dyke, a wet bag of laundry, and a jar of relish. All of that made me chuckle. Every single thing he called them was quick, it was witty, it was funny. I thought it was genius. I felt like Akademiks does look like all those things. And worse. Let me continue. He also repeatedly mocked Act's chicken nugget-like frame and dismissed him as someone unqualified to critique rappers' fashion. Akademiks responded with a fiery live stream. Let's be honest, Akademiks can't tell nobody how to dress. Akademiks be looking crazy since Everyday Struggle. Let's just be honest. Framing himself as a foundational voice in modern hip-hop media and insisting Maino couldn't compete with him behind a microphone. Quote, you couldn't win a rap battle. Don't come over here thinking you could win a battle on these microphones. I'm Jay-Z, Kareem, Wilt, Michael Jordan, and Tom Brady all rolled up into one. You can't fuck with me. So this is the thing. Akademiks thinks he wins all these interactions. He don't. Akademiks don't win all these interactions. People just get tired of going at him. Akademiks doesn't win most of them. Let's just be honest. He starts getting loud, start calling you names, bringing up shit you did or may have did or somebody else did around you and screams that out until he gets bored screaming. You're not winning, my G. You just out screaming the shit for a while and people get bored with the conversation. I don't see him beating people like that. No, you think you are because a lot of people tune in, but you do so much fuck shit on a daily basis. You got people coming in from all around for this, that, and the third. So they're not coming in just because this battle. You're not defeating people, beating them down. Some people don't really care to go back and forth with you all day. Maino had time. Let me continue. Act argued that he created a lane that didn't exist before him. Yeah. He made trash media. He made trash media really, really popular after Wendy Williams fell off and did whatever. She went into a bigger form of trash. She started doing everybody media. But in the beginning, Wendy Williams was doing trash, hip-hop takes, and this, that, and the third. That morphed into, let me do everybody. I'm going to do a bigger genre. So, yes, Act did step in. 10 years after Wendy Williams was played out, Act came in and did his thing. Let me continue. And see, you guys, Angie Martinez over there doing good work. Right, you got Angela Yee for what it's worth. I know Angela Yee got her moments that she did this, that, and third. Just doing work. They're doing quiet work. You got Sway in the morning over there, just doing the work. They're not mixing in with trash media. But no, you want to go to Akademiks page every day. Let me continue. Act argued that he created a lane that didn't exist before him, claiming he helped make traditional radio obsolete and emphasizing that he never tried to pivot into rapping when his career struggled. He could say he helped make it obsolete. Radio was going out on his own anyway. YouTube itself, he is a part of that. YouTube itself was killing radio, and MP3s killed radio. It's a lot of factors of why you can't curse on the radio. It's a lot of shit you can't do on radio that you can do on YouTube. So he does have a point, but but radio was going out when they started these DSPs, the streamers, when you can make your own playlist. You ain't gotta wait for the DJ to play nothing. People started discovering stuff on Spotify and Apple. Before the DJ could discover it, they were discovered it. By the time the DJ was telling you, it was already old. So the radio was on its way out when technology changed. So let's just keep that a buck. Let's keep that in mind. Let me continue. Emphasizing that he never tried to pivot into rapping when his career struggled. He accused Maino and other rappers turned podcasters of invading the lane he helped build. Act also clapped back at Maino's fashion criticisms, resurfacing images of the rapper's own questionable outfits. You're not giving me fashion lessons. This is the drip I was supposed to take. So listen, he's dissing Joe Buttons at the same time when he's saying these rappers coming into this lane. Act, you do not own podcasting. You do not own this lane. As a matter of fact, you were just a guy trolling and making videos. You didn't like, oh, I'm going to be podcasting was already on point. Joe Budden was already doing that, if I'm not mistaken, before you came along, right? And a lot of people were getting into that lane. Jack was one of the first podcasters. He was one of the first to do this podcasting thing at a high level. So let's be honest. You're not the first now. You jumped in it after you realize, okay, me talking about Chiraq is down the third ain't working. So let me move into some other lane. But let's keep that a buck. Let's put that out in the air that, okay, you got in it, but you didn't start it. Though Act insisted much of his rant was trolling, the situation escalated further when Maino posted a separate video accusing Akademiks of far more serious behavior. So Maino fought back. What he was going to do is What he should do is use Akademiks, because Akademiks will not stop on you. He's going to hit you with everything he can. Every single issue you got, he has no chill button. He's going to try to destroy your reputation and win the so-called battle. Well, Maino struck first and was like, well, what about you? Let me continue this. Maino referenced old allegations and resurfaced recordings, accusing Ak of misconduct and sexual conversations with the minors. Allegations Ak has previously addressed, denied, and disputed publicly. Quote, you got too many things going on, Maino said. The only thing that belongs to you on the internet is your titties and that bottle of Hennessy. What began as light jabs over Fabulous headband has now morphed into deeply personal feuds, stretching far beyond style critiques or podcast banter. So he brought up the female. Now, Maino did have it wrong when he brought up the female that has the sexual assault allegations against Ak. It was against, she said Ak let the guys do it. She didn't say Ak did anything. She's saying that the two guys that assaulted her outside of Ak's pool were given the okay by Akademiks. I believe she's saying that Akademiks, she got drugs, so she don't know. But when she was awake, it was just those two guys. I think she said Akademiks came later and did something with her, if I'm not mistaken. But I believe that she's saying that the thing by the pool is the problem with the Akademiks is involved with. So I don't know if she's saying that he did it per se. I don't know. But end of the day, that's what it sounded like in the original police report. All right. But other than that, Maino did strike back. He struck back hard, and he kept it like very, very, listen, I'm not going to play games with you. You need to address this issue with these assaults and this thing with this kid. So it got really nasty, really trashy. And I wish Maino didn't really delve in that situation, but Maino got his own allegedly. He allegedly was arrested for the same thing. So they all got problems. They all got issues. And yes, Maino was in jail for a long time. So when you go to jail, you got to do certain things. And I'm sure there's a lot of other things that ain't come out, and a lot of things that he got put in jail for. So you can sit there all day and go back and forth, trash each other, make each other seem like awful people. But I'm just going to say this for the record. Everybody involved in this conversation is trash. Yes. And I don't know Mona like that, this, that, and the third, but I have heard some sketchy allegations about Mona with this, that, and the third, right? I don't really talk about Mona. I don't really talk about Joe Budden podcast per se, but I do hear things. Okay, so end of the day, all of them got something that they got to answer for, right? Ain't nobody holier than thou. I'm not holier than thou. Nobody's holier than thou. But when you sit there all day, your whole purpose is to do trash and to go as low in the mud as you can. At some point, we got to acknowledge, okay, they're playing a game that it's just based on how much trolling and clickbaiting can I do? How much can I build my brand up by stepping on somebody else's brand? And at some point, we got to take a stand and be like, okay, over there, keep that trash shit over there. It's funny, it's entertaining, for a time it's good, but at the end of the day, we can't give credence to that shit. We can't escalate and elevate Akademiks to these. Akademiks got about 4 or 5 mansions and all this shit. Like, we've given these people too much power. And as a society, you get what you deserve. They say you get what you voted for. Well, we voted for all this trash shit, and it's to a point that we got to start pulling back on it, gang. I'm just going to leave it at that, man. Listen, let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG, head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. Tap in. Also, every Wednesday night, me, TJ, and Flares go live on The What Show. We talk about things like this. We'll probably discuss this. I believe we're going on live tonight. And the last but not least, the music video by me, TJ, and Flares. We on some real hip-hop shit. We got a whole project called The What Project on all streaming services. Tap in, man. Go to the video comment. Go to the streaming services. Stream it up. All right, man. I'm out of here, man. I'm going to catch you on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat. Get my sheepskin. Grab my wallet. Get my pocket knife. And get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6 man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within, with the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin, with the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end, and then secured a spot with some goons and some kin, and then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs. And yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb. And yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word. And he the one that got it cracking, and all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like Pats fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe, then put some food in his face, and he'll kill for you. But I don't need him for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here and we ain't the cheese, we the trap.